Good morning! Good morning, everyone! Kahapon hindi ako nakapag-live kasi walang network yung smart nung early nung morning. Kaya ang ginawa ko, nag-video ako. Kaya lang, siguro kasi maliit lang yung memory ng iPad ko. Kaya hanggang kahapon, ginawa ko yung pag-edit ng video, tapos pag-save para ma-upload. Unfortunately, hindi siya na-upload kasi yun nga, maliit yung ng memory ko. Hindi maano ng applications, hindi ko ma-save. So, kailangan ko pa talagang i-delete lahat ng mga pictures. So, mauuna itong chapter 10 na ma-publish bago itong chapter 9. Ang ganda ng chapter 9. So, bago nyo panoorin to, panoorin nyo muna yung chapter 9. Upload ko. Yes?
Ma'am, kabila ma'am.
Ay, dili lang. So, andito na tayo sa chapter 10, yung huling chapter ng libro. So, excited ako kasi ang ganda ng title. Dance Steps for Lasting Intimacy. I always enjoy watching older couples dance. They seem so happy together. They know just what to do. He has all the moves down, and she trusts him to lead her exactly where she wants to go. She melts into his arms, and he holds her charmingly and confidently. This trust and confidence can only come with years of practice. When couples start out in love, they are always willing to do whatever it takes to make the relationship work. The problem, as we have discussed, is that the dance steps that work for past generations don't work today. The music has changed, and the new steps are required. Without an awareness of these new advanced skills, it is inevitable that the special light of love we feel in the beginning will grow dimmer. When a man is skilled in loving a woman, there is no question that his love can sweep her off her feet. In a similar way, a woman's love can help plant a man's feet firmly on the ground. By learning new skills to express her love, she can be a mirror to help him see and feel his greatness. She can be a motivating force that helps him succeed in expressing his most competent and loving self. The will earn gift of love. The support I have experienced through my wife's gentle and sometimes fierce love for me has dramatically influenced my ability to relax and feel good about myself. It has allowed the real and loving person to come out of me. For example, instead of being critical when I would forget things, she was accepting and patient. This was the gentle love, but instead of giving up and doing things for herself without my help, she persisted in a non demanding way. This was her fierce love. She didn't give up like so many women do. She kept on practicing the dance steps. Ha? Smart? Ah, 35. Ah. Although, although bonus love is a gift that I have earned, it is also given freely. Through her willingness to pause and postpone, Her immediate needs prepared me to listen and respond to her request and persist in asking for my support in a non demanding way. I gradually discovered how important love was and how to get it. The growth we have experienced together has been the result of hard work. Now it is much easier. Life always has its difficult challenges, but with new skills for relating, we are able to grow closer instead of farther apart in our journey together. We are able to support each other in our ongoing process of living, growing, and sharing ourselves in the world. As I have focused on developing my masculine side to improve communication by learning to duck, dodge, disarm, and deliver, she has focused on developing her female side to assist me in being successful in fulfilling her. Through her learning to pause, prepare, postpone, and persist, it has made a world of difference. Although neither of us is perfect in these skills, each day we get better. They are no longer difficult to practice because we know they work and we know how painful it is when we don't use them. Sometimes she is more supportive, while at other times she has little to give. Even when both of us are empty, just knowing how to start giving again to get the support we need is a tremendous source of strength. When I am in my cave and Bonnie is not getting what she needs, instead of panicking or feeling responsible, she knows how to pause and give me space. She practices preparing me to do more by asking for support in easy ways and then appreciating me. Instead of trying to change me or improve the relationship, she focuses on using her feminine skills to give me space and gradually draw me out of the cave with her patient love. Two steps forward and then back again. Just like dance partner. When a woman takes two steps back, the man can take two steps forward. When he takes two steps back, she can take two steps forward. This give and take is the basic rhythm of relationships. At other times, they both pull back and then come back together. Every relationship has those times when both partners have little to give, and so they pull back to recharge. While dancing, a woman gracefully swings into the man's. Unsa man?
Wala kaya din shoulder. Ilang?
14.
14 te?
Hmm?
14?
Oo.
Nagawa ko daw ka I love for this te. Kaya
Ilang piso?
nag-14 na daw te.
Ah.
Ko naman 14 na lang mong punitin niya. Bayad ko dito head and shoulder.
Mo ni sa load ang imo. Taas ka ni sa head and shoulder. 09. Oo.
0938
Oo.
ay 096382
Ay, unsay una?
4408
Sige daw, balik daw. 09. Oo.
6382
822.
4408
0963-822-4408. While dancing, a woman gracefully swings into the man's arms, then spins away. In a successful relationship, this same pattern is expressed. A woman is happy to see her partner. She moves into his arms, and then, after posing and preparing him, she spins out of his arms and shares her feelings in a circular manner. At other times, he will hold her in his arms as she swings back and dip. In a similar way, as a woman shares her feeling, she may be deep. With his sympathetic support, she is able to go almost all the way down to the dance floor and then experience the joy of coming back up. In dance, a woman naturally spins around while the man stays steady. In a similar manner, when a woman can share her feelings without a man reacting with his, she can feel heard. Certainly, there are also times when they both spin, but as in dance, they need to pull away to do the movement before again making contact. While dancing, a man gets to feel his sense of independence and autonomy by leading, and a woman gets to feel her need for cooperation and relationships through supporting him as he supports her in the moves she wants to make. The care and feeding of partnership. In our journey, we must remember to nurture and respect our differences. Differences create passion. We start relationships because we are drawn to another person who is different from complement us. In the beginning, Bonnie and I had no idea how different we were. We were so focused on the ways in which we were similar. We are both very spiritual. We both enjoy sex. We both like to go for walks. We both like the tennis. We both like tennis. We both like movies. We have many friends in common. We were both easygoing. We were both interested in psychology. The list of commonalities was delightfully long. Once we were married, we began to notice the differences. I was detached, she was emotional. I was goal oriented, she was relationship oriented. She liked discussing problems. I wanted to solve or postpone them. Besides this, in other standard gender differences that create the inherent attraction between the sexes, there were many other differences as well that are not necessarily gender based. She liked the bedroom temperature cool, and I like it warm. She liked antiques, and I like high tech and modern. She liked to balance her checkbook to the last penny, and I would round it off and get a vague running total in my mind. She liked to get up early, and I like to stay up late. She liked eating at home, and I like going out. She drove the speed limit, and I like to drive fast. She liked to save money, and I like to spend it. She made decisions slowly, and I like to make them fast. She held on to old relationships, and I quickly move on. I have big ambitions, and she is quite content with her life the way it is. I like electric gadgets, and she likes to garden and other real things of the earth. She likes to visit museum, and I like elegant hotels. I like new, modern homes, and she likes older, more charming homes. I like views with a vista, and she likes being in the woods. Although each of these differences creates a possible conflict, they also create the opportunity to grow together as well. In relationships, we are generally attracted to a person with certain qualities that, in a sense, are either dormant within or yet to come out of us. When we are one way of our partner is another way, we are instinctively attracted to them to help us find balance with ourselves. Finding this balance creates passion and attraction. After about a year of being married, I confronted my first big challenge relating to our differences. I wanted to buy a larger screen TV. I love new technology and gadgets. Bonnie wasn't in favor of the idea. She said that she didn't like the idea of having to see it looming in the living room every day. This was a very difficult moment for me. I began to feel that to make her happy, I had to give up something that would make me happy. At that point, I was just beginning to understand how we could resolve our differences by working our win win solution. In- Internally, I was furious. All kinds of buttons were being pushed. I contained myself by remaining focused on finding a solution. As long as I kept thinking that we could both somehow get what we wanted, the frustration did not turn to anger at her. I want to respect your wishes, I finally told her. So, man, Serenades 17390 I want I want to respect your wishes, I finally told her. And I really want to get a bigger TV. I've waited a long time to be able to afford one. I also really want you to have a beautiful home. What do you think we can do? Bonnie answered. Bonnie answered, I wouldn't mind a big TV if it was in the cabinet that closed in the front. Then, when you weren't watching it, I could close it and not always have to see it. I immediately said, Great, and we went together to buy a cabinet. I thought it was going to be an easy solution. We soon found that we have completely different tastes in furniture. The win-win solution. The cabinet I picked out was high-tech and would hold all my stereo equipment. The cabinet she wanted had glass back shelves with lights for displaying china and crystal, but it didn't have a big enough space for the TV that I wanted. For weeks, we looked for something that would accommodate our thing, different needs. During this process, I feel like I wanted to explode, but I did everything I could to contain my frustration. It was a very difficult time. I thought that she was so stubborn and resistant, and I became very judgmental of her. In my darkest moment, I thought, I'm getting a divorce. Hindsight helps us to see how we tend to blow things out of proportion. Although I thought she was being stubborn, I was being just as stubborn. I wanted my big screen TV, and she wanted it covered. I wanted a cabinet to hold my stereo, and she wanted something to hold her crystal and beautiful things. We tittered on the brink of hitting each other, and then came the day when we finally found a cabinet we both agreed on. It was a miracle, except that we had to wait another 3 months for it to be shipped to us. The whole ordeal couldn't have been more frustrating, but once the cabinet arrived, we were both very satisfied with it. Building relationship messes. What we ended up getting together was much better than what I would have gotten if I'd gone shopping on my own. By stretching myself to include and respect Bonnie's taste and wishes, I had achieved an end result far greater than anything I alone could have created. Through exercising our patience and flexibility, we were both able to strengthen our relationship. This experience became a strong metaphor for all our future conflicts. I realized that even when it seemed that I could not get what I wanted, with persistence and a willingness to fulfill both our wishes, we could always end up with more. Although I didn't initially care much for the display shields, I love and greatly appreciate them now, and Bonnie greatly enjoyed the 36-inch TV. Once we have worked through this problem successfully, I realized that we were much closer than we had been before. Our trust level had gone up. The strength, patience, faith, and flexibility it took to find a win-win solution made other challenges much easier. Partnership and service to a higher purpose. Partnership is the seventh secret to creating a lasting and passionate relationship. To create a mutually fulfilling partnership, it is helpful to understand how men and women experience partnership differently. A woman feels partnership when she and her partner are doing things together in a cooperative manner toward the same goal. There is no hierarchy or boss. They make all decisions together, sharing their input equally. A man experiences partnership very differently. He likes to have his department where he is in control, and he is happy for her to have her department where she is in control. He doesn't want her telling him what to do, nor does he feel he has to be involved in with what she is doing. Together, doing different jobs with different responsibilities, they are partnership teaming up to get the job done. With an awareness of this difference, both men and women can create the partnership they want. Using sexual intercourse as a metaphor, we can easily see the solution. In sex, a man leaves his world and enters her. This brings them both great pleasure. Then, quite naturally, he pulls back into his world or department, leaving her alone in her world or department. Then again, back and forth. He moves in and out of her world. In a similar way, to create a win win partnership, a couple can have more or less clear departments, and the man can occasionally move into hers and help her as an equal. As he gets better and better at working cooperating with her in her departments, then slowly but surely he will begin to invite her into his departments. Using this as a general guideline can be very helpful, particularly when couples work together. For a partnership to thrive and not be self serving, it must have a purpose beyond itself. For the passion to grow, partners must share a common interest and work toward that end. We all come into this world with gifts to share and purposes to fulfill beyond our personal happiness. They may not be earth shattering, but they are there. For a, for a relationship to grow in love and passion, the love we share with another needs to be directed in some loftier way. Having children is a natural fulfillment of this need. As a team, parents give to each other so that they can more successfully give to the children. Our children grow up and leave home. Couples need to find a new goal or purpose. When, as a partnership, we are serving the highest good of the family, community, or world, our love can continue to grow without limit. The power of forgiveness. To fully open our hearts to each other and enjoy a lifetime of love. The most important skill of all is forgiveness. Forgiving your partner for their mistakes not only frees you to love again, but allows you to forgive yourself for not being perfect. When we don't forgive in one relationship, our love is to our love is, to various degrees, restricted in all our life relationships. We can still love others, but not as much. When a heart is blocked in one relationship, it beats more weakly in them all. Forgiving means letting go of hurt. Forgiveness allows us to give our love again and help us to open up both to give and also to receive. When we are close, we lost on two counts. The more you love someone, the more you suffer when you don't forgive them. Many people are driven to suicide by the agonizing pain of not forgiving a loved one. The greatest pain we can ever feel is the pain of not loving someone we love. This agony drives people mad and is responsible for all the violence and craziness in our world. and in our relationships. It is this pain of holding back our love that moves many people to addictive behaviors, substance abuse, and random violence. We stubbornly hold on to bitterness and resentment, not because we are not loving, but because we do not know how to forgive. If we were not loving, then ceasing to love someone would not be painful at all. The more loving we are, the more painful it is not to forgive. How we learn to forgive. If when we were children, our parents had asked for our forgiveness when they made mistakes, we would know how to forgive. If we had watched them to forgive, If we had watched them forgive each other, we would better know how to forgive. If we had experienced being forgiven for our own mistakes again and again, we would not only know how to forgive, but would have experienced firsthand the power of forgiveness to random ourselves, to run to transform others. We would not only know how to forgive, but would have experienced firsthand the power of forgiveness to transform others. Because our parents did not know how to forgive, we easily misunderstand what it means. Emotionally, we associate forgiving someone with the realization that what they did was not so bad after all. For example, let's say that I am late and that you are upset with me. If I give you a great reason or excuse, you are more inclined to forgive me. I tell you, for instance, that my car blew up on the way over. That's why I am late. Surely you would be more inclined to forgive me. Better yet, let's say a car blew up next to me and I stopped to save a child from dying, with such a good reason for being late. I would immediately be forgiven. But real forgiveness is needed when something really bad or hurtful happens and there is no good reason for it. Real forgiveness acknowledges that a real mistakes have been made and then affirms that the person who made it still deserves to be loved and respected. It does not mean that their behavior was condoned or agreed with in any way. If forgiveness is required, the implication is that you are acknowledging that a mistake was made that you want corrected or at least not repeated. Forgiveness contains many of the 16 messages listed below. Before reading down the list, take just a moment to think about a situation in which you found it almost impossible to forgive. As you verbally and mentally read these phrases, imagine the person who wounded you standing before you. What you did was all your fault and not mine. I am not responsible for what you did. What you did was wrong. I did not deserve to be treated this way. There is no good reason for what you did. And man, smart. 09 09 05 uh 91 090583729118. Bale, asa? Ay, sa Gcash mo na? Ah. Basta man. Sa toya. Bangag imong 20. Ha? Bangag imong 20. Balik ka. Sige, sige. Thank you. Ah. There is no good reason for what you did. There is no excuse, and I am not willing to be subjected to the treatment ever again. It is not okay with me. It was very painful. And I do not want to spend the rest of my life punishing you for this. I can reach within my heart and see that even though what you did was bad, you are still a good person deep inside. I am willing to find the innocent part of you that is doing your best. No one is perfect. I will not withhold my love from you. I will freely give my love, but I will also protect myself from this happening again. It will take time to rebuild trust, but I am willing to give you another chance. It may be that I am not willing to give you another chance with me, but I do wish you will with others. I release my hurt. You are no longer responsible for how I feel. I forgive you and wish you will. I am responsible for how I feel. I am a loving person and I can be loved just the way I am. When forgiveness is learned and expressed, a huge weight is lifted. Through saying those three simple words, I forgive you, leaves the relationship have been dramatically saved. The power to forgive is within us all, but like any other skill, we must practice it. In the beginning, it takes time. We work at forgiving our partner, and then suddenly the next day we are blaming them again. This is par for the course. Mastering the new relationship skills of forgiving takes time. But with practice, it becomes a natural response. In the beginning, a helpful phrase you can write out or think is, "Nobody is perfect." I forgive you for being imperfect. What you did was wrong. Nobody deserves to be treated the way you treated me. What you did was wrong and I forgive you. I forgive you for not being perfect. I forgive you I forgive you for not giving me the love and respect that I deserve. I forgive you for not knowing better. I wish for you the decency and respect that every human being deserves. I forgive you for making a mistake. The message of forgiveness. Christ's message to humanity from the cross was one of forgiveness. To rise above death, beyond pain, one has to forgive. His words were, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." In this simple praise is contained the secret of how to forgive. We can begin to forgive our partners and others who hurt us when we can recognize that they really don't know what they are doing. I remember when I first experienced pure forgiveness. It was when my daughter Lauren was 2 years old. She was playing with her food. I kept telling her not to, but she went ahead anyway. Within a few moments, she was holding the spaghetti in her hands, then dropping it all over our carpet. Sa man, nga tag 12, isa, yeah. Thank you. When we can begin to forgive, we can begin to forgive our partners and others who hurt us when we can recognize that they really don't know what they are doing. I remember when I first experienced pure forgiveness, it was when my daughter, Lauren, was 2 years old. She was playing with her food. I kept telling her not to, but she went ahead anyway. Within a few moments, she was holding the spaghetti in her hands, then dropping it all over our carpet. It was furious inside because she made a mess and I had to clean it up. At the same time, however, I was completely forgiving of her. I was angry with her, but my heart was completely open and filled with love. I wondered how they could be and then remembered Christ's words, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. In that moment, it was easy to forgive her because she clearly didn't know what she was doing when she dropped the spaghetti. I suppose she thought she was creating a work of art. What she didn't realize was that she was causing a problem for me. As a counselor, I have repeatedly experienced that people act and react in non loving ways when they don't know better. People bear grudges out of ignorance and innocence. When they can experience a better way, they go for it. No one in their heart or hearts really wants to withhold and punish. It is merely the only way he or she knows to react when another person disrespects them. The ideas in this book and my other books about male and female differences have been helpful to people because these insights are based on forgiveness. No one is being blamed. Your mother and father are not blamed because they didn't anticipate what you would need to know to make your relationships work. Men are not blamed because they are from Mars and don't understand women. Women are not blamed because they are from Venus and don't understand men. We have problems because we know not what we do. Once we bear this root in mind and heart, our mistakes and our partner's mistakes are more forgivable. The angels in heaven rejoice it's time you forgive. When you choose to love instead of closing your heart, you bring a little spark of divinity into our dark world of struggle. You lighten the load of others and help them to forgive as well. When men and women fail in relationships, it is not because they are not loving. We are all born with love in our hearts and a purpose to fulfill. We experience pain in our relationships because we do not know how to share our love in ways that work. We are missing the skills. Sometimes love is not expressed because it is buried deep inside or locked within the fortress of our hearts, hiding behind a wall. We are safe from hurt but barred from love. So many people are imprisoned in themselves. They do not know how to find love so that they can share it. Infinities of love are wasted in a lifetime when we are not taught the basic skills for communicating and relating in a loving manner. A time for hope. Perhaps for the first time in history, we are entering a phase when love can be mastered. The millennial time is one of the great hope for relationships in the world. Previously on our planet, survival was the guiding purpose. Slowly but surely, in the last several thousand years, love has become increasingly important. It can become a guiding force within us all. The widespread dissatisfaction between men and women in relationships is a symptom that the world wants more. The pain of nations is the pain we feel when we can't share our love. We can no longer turn our heads away from deeper feelings. We hunger deep in our hearts to love. The shift has already taken place. Love is already there. With this new understanding of what our mothers could not tell us and our fathers did not know, we're not much better prepared to love our partners. With practice, this new open ended love can dramatically improve relationships. It is my hope that in applying the different skills for improving relationships, you do not only can forgive your partner when he or she forgets to use the skills, but you can also forgive your parents and yourself. Remember, even if our parents could have taught us more, we still wouldn't have perfect relationships. The most intelligent and successful people around are having problems in their intimate and family relationships. There is no shame in needing to learn and practice. We are we all need to practice. Although we are born with the ability to love, it is a skill and must be learned. Making a difference in the world. Through mastering the secrets of passion and practicing forgiveness, we are not only creating a lifetime of love for ourselves, but we are making a difference in the world. Practicing new relationship skills and learning to harmonize dissonant values is not only the prerequisite for creating more passionate relationships, but directly contributes to a more peaceful world. Imagine a world where families are not shattered by divorce or neighbors are not hating each other. This kind of world is possible. Each step you take in your relationship helps actualize that possibility. Peace and prosperity for the world become a reality each time it approaches being your daily reality. It is naive to assume that we can create peace in the world when we cannot make peace with the people we love. When our leaders are capable of having loving and mutually nurturing family relationships, then they will have acquired the skills to negotiate world peace. By learning to resolve the differences between men and women, we are, in effect, easing global tensions and allowing ourselves and others to effectively embrace and connect different cultures and races. As we realize through our relationships that our differences are really superficial and that deep within we are all one, we can transcend conflicts and war and approach our problems with a new awareness that respects and harmonizes differences. As in male female relationships, the solution is not in denying that differences exist. The potential for conflict is resolved solely through honoring and respecting each other and finding creating ways in which to fulfill our different needs. Each time we take the sometimes painful or difficult step to positive resolutions in our personal relationships, we are paving the way for harmony in the world. Your every effort and attempt makes it easier for others to follow you. Naman. Mm-mm. Yara. Thank you for letting me be part. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey in this world. May you and your loved ones experience a lifetime of love. In our lives, may we also share the difference. And may you and your loved ones experience a lifetime of love. And in our lives, may we also share the experience of a world filled with love. Yes, lifetime of love. That is my wish, my goal. So, pag-aaral natin, ipapractice natin lahat ng mga natutunan natin. Yung pag-pause, pag-postpone, pag-prepare, pag-persist, lahat yun. Saka yung pag-duck and dodge. Thank you sa librong to. Last, tapos kuting. Pasa muna tayo ng song bago tayo mag-end. The Righteous Israelite, a Psalm of David, Psalm chapter 15. Lord, who may abide in your tent, who may dwell in your holy mountain, whoever works without blame, doing what is right, speaking truth from the heart, who does not slander a neighbor, does no harm to another, never defames a friend, who disdain the wicked, but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps a note despite the cost, lends no money at interest, accept no bribe against the innocent. Whoever acts like this shall never be shaken. God bless everyone. Bye bye.